Hi, I'm so glad to have you today. In this video, we're talking the 50-30-20 rule, the budgeting technique. If you've been struggling with budgeting, in today's video, we're going to dive into the 50-30-20 rule, one of the easiest or simplest budgeting techniques. So if this is something you're interested in, please make sure to watch this video until the end. Hi, my name is Barbara K, your certified financial education instructor. I am so glad to have you in today's video. Now, for starters, what is budgeting? Budgeting is telling your money where to go rather than wondering where it went. I like to say that it's like giving a job description to your money. You tell your every shilling, your every penny, what it should do and in what time. So there is a period attached to it and there is an amount attached to that penny. The 50-30-20 rule, most of you have asked me to talk about it, and that's what I'm exactly going to do. It is a technique that was made famous, for starters, by the US Senate, called Elizabeth and her daughter in a book that they authored. And basically, it is to show that you're supposed to spend, or the categories that you're supposed to allocate your money to. And they are just three, as simple as that. The 50% of your income should go to your needs. What are the needs? The essentials, those things that you need to survive in life. The shelter, the utility bills, your rent, which is shelter, your groceries, whatever you think that you need to survive, like those basic needs that were taught in school, that is where the 50% should go. So if you, whatever income you're earning, get 50% of it and distribute it in those, items. Now the 30% should go to your wants. Most people normally confuse needs and wants, and I think I should now make that distinction right now, like in this video. What are your needs? What are your wants? Needs are your essentials, your basic needs. Like they say, your basic needs. What is it that you need to survive? Your wants, on the other hand, are things that bring comfort or luxury, or they smoothen your life. Things like entertainment, things like travel, things like eating out. Food is essential, but you can have it at home. Eating out is a want, it's a luxury. So those are the wants. Now the 30% should go under there. The 20% should go to your savings and debt repayment. So you get the 20% of your income and distribute it to your savings. And savings should, remember, when you're doing savings, when you're allocating or apportioning this 20%, do not forget to save towards emergencies or having an emergency fund. And I think I've made a video about emergencies. I will put the link up here for you to refer to it in case you've never heard of this term, or maybe you have and you don't know how to save for emergencies or how to start up an emergency fund for yourself. In there, also save towards your long-term goals like retirement. If maybe you want to buy a piece of land, all of that will go in the 20%. When it comes to budgeting, the one thing that you need to understand or take note of is that it should be flexible, because things keep changing. So don't say that, no, they said 50 is this, 30 is this, 20 is this, so therefore let me enjoy my 30% in entertainment. If you think there is a goal that falls under the 20% and maybe requires more money, it is okay to subtract, to spend less on wants and add on to this goal. So all I'm trying to say is that keep adjusting depending on your financial situation, depending on what your goals and dreams are in that period, and make the budget work for you. That's how it's supposed to be. Budgets should not be cast in stone. They should not be like a control, a control document for you, but it should be a document or to guide you. A document to guide you, not a document to control you. And I think that is why some people feel like budgeting is hard, or budgeting is controlling, or budgeting is taking away from my enjoyment. That is because of how you think it is, a perception you've created about budgeting. It should be easy, it should be flexible, it should work for you, not against you. The other important thing to note is there is no way you will categorize these things if you don't know what your expenses are. So tracking your expenses is important, and there are very many ways you can track your expenses. Again, I have made a video about tracking your expenses. Please look on my channel, or I'll leave a link as well, either up here or in the description box, to take you to that video. But it is important that you know where your money is going. That way, budgeting becomes easy for you. And there are very many tools, both online and physical, that can help you with tracking your expenses. You can even use an Excel sheet, or you can use a notebook. You can use your phone. For example, there is an app that you can download on your phone called the Money Manager. This is an app I've used personally, so it is good. I would recommend it. But there are very many apps that you can use to budget, because if you're on the go, the truth is, every day, every minute, for as long as you're out of your house, even in your house, by the way, you'll be spending money. So if you don't keep track of it, at the end of the day, you might not remember some of the expenses. So having those tracking apps on your phone, because we know we all hold our phones on a daily, every minute, might be good, because as you spend, you will input what the expense is. If you can't do that, then use your financial, especially people who pay by cards or mobile money or whatever technology you're using. You can get those statements and see what have you spent on today, what have you spent on this week, to know where most of your money goes, and what needs they are that you're spending on, what wants are you spending on, and also your savings. So the mistake that most people do when it comes to this technique is mixing up the items. For example, debt repayment falls under the 20%, and then you find that is being put under the first category, which is a 50%. So it is important that you know what belongs where and leave it where it belongs. Whatever category, whatever items fall under a certain category, let them stay where they belong. Otherwise, you will be following another technique of budgeting and not the 50-30-20 rule. It is also important to note that when it comes to budgeting, listing down and saying, I'm going to pay this, I'll pay this, listing down your bills or your expenses does not equate to budgeting. It is important that you have a detailed budget. Your income, so this is how much income I have, these are the expenses, this is what will be left. And it is, if you have more than one income, list all the incomes. Don't just budget for each income. Combine them together and let that be like a grand total of all your incomes that you have. Same for the expenses, so that you're dealing with one document. That way it is less confusing and less tedious for you. There are very many benefits for using the 50-30-20 rule, and I'll mention a few. One of them being the fact that it is simple to use. It categorizes your spending. It is just 3 categories. So you will know 50 is going here, 30% of my income is going here, 20% of my income is going here. And this is very beneficial, especially for people who dread budgeting or don't know where to begin from. So it is as simple as that. The other thing, of course, is that it prioritizes debt repayment. Now, when it comes to debts, we all know that there are some culprits. If you're watching this, put up your hand, where people take debts. They are good at taking debts, but they don't like to pay. The time of taking debt is a fun time. When it comes to paying back, it is tears. So with this budgeting technique, it will help you, it will remind you and tell you, under the 20%, kindly apportion money for debt repayment. It also reminds the budgeter, if I may use that word, the person making the budget, to save. That is the 20%. Most people only budget for spending. The money comes and says, I need to pay this, 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 and then forgets the part of saving or investing. So this is why this technique is very important. It will flag those important aspects when it comes to finances that you need to take care of. Of course, the other interesting part is that it allows you or gives you room to plan for enjoyment, for entertainment, for spending. And that is the category of 30%. It only doesn't focus on saying pay for your essentials, save, and then that is it. No, it reminds you that you should enjoy your hard-earned money. And of course, like I said, it is simple, it is easy to use, and it gives you a framework to follow on how your money should be spent. So if you've been struggling with budgeting and you think this is a technique that might work for you, or you've used it, please let me in the comment section how that has gone for you. Or if you're going to start using it, also do let me know. If you've been using it and you're facing challenges, do let me know in the comment section. Otherwise, I would like to remind you that this is not the only budgeting technique. There are several out there, and maybe I'll make videos on each one of them. But for beginners, I would recommend this. It is easy to use, like I'd said. So try it out and let me know how that goes. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, please remember to subscribe and join the family, because on this family we talk everything personal financial management. If this is the kind of information you like, kindly stay here. And remember to share it with your friends and loved ones who you think might benefit from such kind of information. Until then, stay blessed. See you in my next video on Thursday. Goodbye.